Hi, everyone. David Aragona and Mike Beer here, taking a very early look at the prospective field for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. And speaking of the Breeders' Cup, which is right around the corner, you do want to check out the packages that we've got offered at Daily Racing Form for you to do your Breeders' Cup handicapping. We've got a couple of these. You can save $38 on the value of both of them. We've got our players package and the VIP package. Betting strategies, I think, included in both packages. The VIP package is where you can get those valuable clock reports with the insights about who's working well ahead of the Breeders' Cup. So go to shop.drf.com to get more information or use that QR code on screen. Let's check out some of the top contenders for this Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. And Mike, this is the early morning line that I put together. I'll be updating this in the weeks to come as we get closer to the Breeders' Cup. And it doesn't feel like there is a standout in this division at this point in time. I think a horse like Tommy Joe was thought to be, the one that was the leader of this division through the summer. We'll talk about what happened in her final prep race. But coming into the fall, it does feel like Bob Baffert, this is one of the few Breeders' Cup races where he's going to have a pretty strong hand with Explora. I would imagine likely to go favored off a decisive victory last time out of the Oakleaf, and we can take a look at the replay of that race.
Yeah, a little bit of a home court advantage for Explora too, so I guess that could factor into it, and you couple it with Tommy Joe, I guess maybe stubbing her toe a little bit the last time we saw her. It does open it up for Explora to go favorite. And listen, this is a race where first time stretched out around 2 turns, sat very comfortably without the lead, and if nothing else, David, this is how you want a 2 to 5 shot to win. She wins this race very, very easily. Debuted over this Del Mar track back over the summer and just absolutely galloped with a big figure first time out. This filly's pretty good.
Yeah, and she was all speed in her first couple of starts. They took those blinkers off for the Oakleaf. She settled much better, and I think that bodes well for her future, especially in a race like this. But Bob Baffert's got another contender in this race, and the horse that I've got ranked third on this list at 5-1, Bottle of Rouge. Kind of interesting. Bob Baffert won both the Del Mar Futurity and the Del Mar Debutante this year and decided to lay up the winners of both of those races to skip the final prep going 2 turns and just point for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Let's take a look at Bottle of Rouge winning that Del Mar Debutante, where she actually beat Explora, who we just talked about. Now, Mike, I think Explora was involved in a pretty tough pace this day, but still, Bottle of Rouge got a wide trip to run her down, and even though she hasn't tried the 2 turns yet, she does give you some confidence that she should be able to handle it when you watch her run.
Yeah, that's how I feel about her too. And you're right, there was a pace for her to come after her here, but she was outside. It's not like she was, way, way back in the pack. She was keeping herself within range. I thought she actually won this race pretty convincingly, David. There's not a fast race on her card yet. We'll see, when that breakthrough comes. But I do think that breakthrough is coming. This is the kind of horse, I don't think you want to judge her off her figures. All 3 of her races are good.
Now, we'll see if we get too many contenders coming in from New York for this race with the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies taking place out at Del Mar in California. I know the winner of the Frizette Iron Orchard, she would be a contender if she came. We'll take a look at the replay of that Frizette with Iron Orchard just barely fending off Riley Tolley in the late stages. But it was reported in the Daily Racing Forum this week that her trainer, Danny Gargan, is not thrilled with the idea of shipping her out to California. He believes that she needs a little more time between races than the 4 weeks from the Frizette to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. So we'll see if she goes, Mike, but I did like that she at least showed a new dimension to rate off the pace of this victory we're taking a look at.
Yeah, I think that's probably the main takeaway, I guess, David. Really impressive. She was sprinting in her first couple of starts. She did show that she could sit off of a pace here and still prevail. And she was up for a little bit of a fight there in the stretch. I'm still sort of conflicted about that performance overall. I'm not sure that, it was, the kind of effort that would make me feel like she was going to be super dangerous in a race like the Breeders' Cup, but she ran fine in there.
And Mike, we've got to talk about the Alcibiades, where the horse that was favored for this race through the summer, Tommy Joe, last competed in. While Tommy Joe did technically win the Alcibiades, she crosses the wire second. We'll take a look at the replay of that race, as it is Percy's Bar who's going to finish under the line first, beating Tommy Joe. But the stewards took a look at this incident that you'll see at the top of the stretch right here with Percy's Bar severely veering out into the path of Tommy Joe. And it's highly debatable whether or not this cost Tommy Joe the victory, Mike. But anyway you slice it, you had to be a little disappointed in this performance, first time going around 2 turns for Tommy Joe.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know that Tommy Joe was going to go by there in the stretch. To me, the DQ makes total sense there because she was badly interfered with. It still seemed like it was setting up to be a disappointing performance from Tommy Joe, win or lose in her first start around 2 turns. Obviously, the first 2 starts of her career point her out. as one of the more talented fillies in this crop. We'll just see if she can, turn things around here at the Breeders' Cup and just run a better race in her second start around 2 turns. Because again, any way you slice it, she was disappointing last time.
Let's flip on over to the second page of contenders to complete this top 10. A lot of the horses on this list that we're looking at here are going to be bigger prices in the juvenile fillies, depending on how the field comes up. I guess Low Wally is one that might be able to continue improving with added distance. She was a distant second behind Explora in the Oakleaf last time, but she has more of a route profile than some others. I mean, maybe an intriguing, not yet exposed candidate on this list, Mike, is the number 7, Taken by the Wind. I got a 12-1 currently. She has not been tested against top competition yet, but she has won both starts in dominant fashion for Ken McPeak.
Yeah, I like both of her races. It'll be interesting to see how she classes up here if they do press on, to the Breeders' Cup. She's obviously going to have to get a lot faster. But I don't feel like this is the kind of race where you want to, just sort of look at figures and leave it at that. These horses can and will improve, very, very quickly at times. And this horse has been impressive in both of her wins.
We've seen in some recent season, it has not taken that fast of a speed figure to win this race. It's not been one of the races that routinely gets a 90 buyer plus buyer at the Breeders' Cup. So we'll see which of these fillies steps forward in 2025. That's a look at the top contenders for this year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Drop us a comment below. Let us know who you're looking forward to seeing step forward in the Juvenile Fillies this year. And make sure to subscribe to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel to not miss any Breeders' Cup updates that we've got coming at you.